Hello and welcome everyone. In this chapter, we are going to see EIGRP practice. So right now we'll discuss about how to configure EIGRP in this master topology. Okay, so let's do that. So first of all, I would like to update in this topology also that in our previous lecture we have already configured the IP addresses in this. For example, take an example here, like for this router's LAN, for this router's LAN interface, this is my network ID. As you can see, it is 10.0.0/24, and this is my IP address 10.100, and the PC's IP address is like 10.0.0.1, 10.0.0.2, 10.0.0.3, and then 10.0.0.100 is the default gateway, correct? Similarly, for this particular router's LAN, 20.0.0.0/24 is the network ID, and out of this network ID we have kept our network here. Of course, the network is this, actually 20.0.0.100. This is not 10x, this is actually 100. Okay, and we do have the other other things here in which IP addresses are configured and the default gateway also. Similarly for similarly for router 3 also, you have the LAN of this 30.network and /24, where you have 30.0.0.100 is the IP address here, and this is network ID, and this is IP addresses for your PCs. Fine. This is for the router's LAN. Like you can see 10.network, 20.network, and 30.network. Then between the routers now, see, between this router we have a network of this, which is 11.network. Between these two routers I have this network, which is a 12.network actually. Okay, and between this to this here I have 13.network available here, in which the IP addresses are also, you can see, which is configured here, that we have already put up. If you remember, in our master topology creation we have seen that in detail. But right now we have to consider one more thing. Let's say this is my source and this is my destination. I want to access web server, or maybe this is my source and I want to ping here to my destinations. So of course, without routing it is not at all possible to communicate here. So that's where we will go ahead and configure the routing protocols in this. And of course, right now we are going to configure the EIGRP here, EIGRP here, and EIGRP here as well. Make sure the AS number has to be same for each and every routers. Then only they will form the neighborship and exchange the update. Okay, so we'll try to keep AS number as 100, AS number as 100, AS number as 100 for each routers in this. For example, if I take a scenario here, a basic thing, I'll do one thing. I will add this all the routers in this, and I will fill with the color with this color so that it becomes easy for us. Okay, I'll do it. Till this, done. And do one more thing. This is something I will put up as EIGRP 100 as my domain for this EIGRP. Completely EIGRP 100 will be the domain for this. Okay, let's get started. So this. So first of all, I'll go to router 1 and check it out. In router 1, show IP interface brief. Of course, IP addresses will be configured in this. Show IP interface brief. You see the IP addresses are configured successfully, correct? If I want show IP route, you can verify. Of course, there is no other routes present here, just directly connected networks are there. Like that in all other routers, like router 2, router 3, they have their own directly connected network. But if you try to ping between these two, of course you will not get the response. If you just go ahead and verify, see, go to desktop, command prompt, and ping to, let's say, from here PC1 I will ping to PC6 30.0.0.2 30.0.0.2. See this, destination host unreachable. Definitely destination host unreachable. Yes, of course. Similarly, from any one of the PC. Let's say from this PC5 itself, if I want to access web server, the IP address is 20.0.0.2. Let's do that. Go to this, go to desktop and click on web browser. And after this web browser, you need to provide the IP address of your web server itself, which is 20.0.0.2. Correct? Say this and click on go. See, you will get the request timeout. Not reachable. So that's it. You know, we have got to know that yes, there is no routing protocol right now and no communications. Let's move ahead and do the configurations for the communication here. Fine. So I'll go to router 1 first. I'll configure in router 1 first. And I'll say configure terminal, router EIGRP AS number, some number you can take, 100, 200, 300, 400. You can take any number, but make sure that has to be same in all the routers. Then network. In this router 1, you have three different network connected here. One network is your 10 dot network, which is connected to your fast Ethernet, which is 10.0.0.0/24. So 10.0.0 and wildcard mask /24, in the sense this will be wildcard mask. Then you have one more network which is connected between router 1 and router 2, which is 11.0.0.0. So network 11.0.0.0, and then it is /24, so subnet mask, wildcard mask will be this. And then you have one more 13.0.0.0, and wildcard mask will be this only. See, from here to till this router, the wildcard mask will be this because of 13.0.0/24. Done. This is what done. This is what the configurations in your router 1. Simple. So what I'm doing right now, take directly connected network ID and wildcard mask, advertise with the network command. Simple. Like this, similarly, you need to configure in router 2 and router 3 also. Let's do the configuration now. I'll get back to router 2. This is my router 2, and here the connected networks are 20 dot network, my LAN network, and then 11 dot network, which is between this router 2 and 1, and 12 dot network, which is between router 3 and router 2. Let's do that. I'll go to this, enable, configure terminal, then router EIGRP number, you need to say network, then 12.0.0.0, sorry, I'll make it any network you can define, but I am giving this right now, /24. Then next network 12.0.0.0, this next network 11.0.0.0. Done. This is your EIGRP configuration in this router. Done. Finally, moving ahead in this router 3. In router 3, you have 30 dot network as your LAN, 12 dot network connected to router 2, 13 dot network which is connected to router 1. Let's do it. Configure terminal. Router EIGRP number, then network 30, wildcard mask, network 12 and wildcard mask, and then network 13, wildcard mask. Done. In all the routers I have configured EIGRP. If I want to verify, show IP EIGRP neighbor. How many neighbors for router 3? See, for router 3, how many neighbors? Router 2 and router 1 will be the neighbor here. You can check it out here. I can see there is 2 neighbor, 12 dot network which is connected to this one, correct? No, router 2, and 13 dot network which is connected to router 1. That's it. So this is how you will find this. Okay. After this, see, show IP EIGRP topology, to verify the topology table. See this. You can see, you will find the P. P is equal to passive. P is equal to passive. Fine. And you can see all the networks. This is my 10 dot network, which is having one successor, and feasible distance is this, and it is reachable via 13001. Means it is basically talking about your this router can reach to 10 dot network via 13001, and this is a feasible distance for this. This is a feasible distance. Fine. Similarly, to reach 20 dot network, see, to reach 20 dot network, you have only one successor and via 12001, means it can reach to 20 dot network, means this LAN, router 2 LAN. So this is your topology table. Similarly, can you see some of the route it is showing as two successor. To reach 11000, it has two successor, and this is the feasible distance. Via 12, via 13 it can reach. Basically it's talking about this. See, to reach this particular network, this network, your router can go to this via router 1 it can reach, and via this router 2 also it can reach. And you go via router 1, you go via router 2, only one router you need to cross, and that's where the metric of EIGRP is same. Via this and via this also it is same. So what routers will perform? Routers will perform the load balancing. Can you see here? To reach this 11 dot network, you have two successor, because the feasible distance of both the successor is same. That's what the major point. Now this is your topology table. Apart from that, of course, you know that the routing table as well. You can verify show IP route. Say this. To reach 10 dot network, of course you have one path. To reach 11 dot network, two path is available. That's what it is showing here. Fine. Like that, 20 dot network is also available in this. So similarly, see, this is in router 3 we can verify. Same thing you can go ahead and verify in all other routers. You will find the complete update in all. Fine. Do one more thing. Show IP protocol is one of the major command. See, in show IP protocol, you find some of the major detail here, like AS number is 100 we have set up, and right now the OS EIGRP has put up the router ID by itself, which is 12002. See, we haven't configured any kind of, if you remember, we haven't configured any kind of router ID. That's where your routers will go ahead and choose the highest interface IP address itself. So this is what the highest interface IP address you can see. Right now it is showing 12002 first. You know why? Because you advertise this 12002 first in the routing configuration. You check it out. See, we have advertised this 12002 first. But if you might have configured this 13000 first, your routers will choose the 13002 itself as the router ID, because router ID has to be reachable via protocol. It has to be advertised in the network. So make sure 13002, if you have configured first, it might have taken the same. Fine. But the preference is that only. Don't worry. After that, guys, all the points are clear. I hope so. Apart from that, couple of more things, like what are the networks you have advertised is this. Maximum path is 4 by default. If you want, you can increase also. It's up to you. And maximum hop count by default is 100, but it can support up to 255. So that's it. This is for EIGRP verifications, guys. If you want, you can go ahead and configure the EIGRP router ID manually. For example, router EIGRP 100, and then router ID is something, let's say 3.3.3.3. Okay, it is not taking EIGRP router ID. This is actually the command. I'm sorry to say, guys, this is actually the command EIGRP router ID, and then Done. The moment you change the router ID here, routers will break the neighbor relationship with other routers and they will try to form the neighbor relationship again. And you will find the same now here. See this. Show IP EIGRP. Oh, sorry, show IP protocol actually. Show IP protocol. You see the EIGRP router ID is this. So make sure how to configure EIGRP router ID. It's very simple. Go to configure terminal. Under router EIGRP, you need to define this command EIGRP router ID and then change this and come out. This is done. Fine. Like this, you can change the router ID for any routers here. So far, our final destination is all about to ping from here to others. For example, if I go to this, earlier I was getting request timeout if I was trying to ping PC6, but now check it out. I should be getting the response here as success. See this? Similarly, if you remember, I was trying to access this web server and I was getting request timeout. I'll go to this and test again. See, same thing. I'll just click on go. You see Cisco packet tracer. I can see that the web page as well available here. So the communications are possible now. That's it. This is how you can configure the EIGRP and verify. So this was introduction to EIGRP, guys. In next lecture, we will see you with the new topic. Thank you. See you in the next.